Welcome in. A little rainy this morning. Got rained on pretty hard the last time. Let's grab an umbrella this morning. What's happening? That's what it looks like today. Boom. Let's get that up. Am I on? Can you hear me? Dude, this morning, let's walk and talk. Thank you guys for being here, man. We're gonna have a decent little walk this morning. Man, don't beat myself up. I didn't turn my little step counter on. Let me get that started. Making sure I record my work. Let's get out here, people. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Boggling Industrial. Bro, you left your door open. Only a little. Ever went to a Diddy party? You haven't lived yet. If you haven't, can you answer me, please? I'm trying to ask you a question. If I just answered the question, Nicholas. Listen, here's the thing. Diddy parties like the Fight Club. First rule of the Fight Club, there is no Fight Club, or you end up in court. Good morning, people. Thank you for being here this morning. I am gonna take this walk, man. I gotta get this fresh air in my lungs. Hopefully this rain doesn't pick up and go too hard. I just told you the first rule about the Fight Club is you don't talk about the Fight Club. Man, when you get there, when you've been there, you know you've been there. You ain't gotta talk about it. So here's what's happening this morning. For those of you who've been here before, you know my wife and I, we have a YouTube page. This is my personal page where I just come out. I offer some encouragement and motivation. Primary focus of this page is positive talks from motivation, getting ready for your week, understanding personal development, growing your life. We encourage here that you take accountability. Be a part of creating the life you want to see for yourself. Be active, be real, right? So we know those are things that we look to do. That's the type of work that we want to try. Not try, that's the work we want to do. It's not about trying. So we also have another YouTube channel that my wife runs primarily. It's in the house. It involves our younger children. It's really about a look into our life, you know. Some of what our morning looks like she's live right now. And we've been working diligently on that channel for years, long before this channel came up. And the focus usually, when you get on YouTube, even if it's not the primary focus, there's a thought in the mind, someday I may be monetized. As you get closer to that monetization, it gets more encouraging. Like you see those numbers you need in order to achieve monetization, and it's kind of exciting just to look at it and know, hey, I'm getting closer. Like the things that I'm doing are counting. It's starting to work. And good morning. How are you doing, Lost Boys? Good to see you this morning. It's starting to work, and we're starting to see results. So it's always kind of a thing. What is this on my umbrella? Oh, it's the tag. I need to cut that off. Okay. So it's always kind of a encouraging thing, even if the intent wasn't to be a content creator. It's always exciting to see your efforts start to turn in to productivity, start to become something. And so guys, I'm gonna let you go ahead and see the morning. So, as I was saying, it's always encouraging as a creator to start to see your work pay off, to start to see the things that you've been doing create value, see your watch time go up. You see it almost every day. And this morning, over the last week actually, my wife devoted a significant amount of time. She was very diligent on getting up, getting on, doing the work, being engaged, building an audience. And over the last couple of months, she's really seen the channel grow. We've really seen the channel grow, but my wife has been the catalyst behind that. My wife has been doing that work. And this past week, my wife got about 1,500 hours of watch time this past week, doing lives, very consistent on every day. And then those hours are supposed to start showing up as of yesterday. They didn't show up. So it was like, okay, maybe tomorrow. It didn't show up. That's this morning. So now the thought process in the mind is, what's going on? So why is this walk titled Perseverance Must Be Tested? Because it will be tested. It is a moment, right? It is the moment before the triumph. It is the eye of the storm. It is the things and the challenges that you overcame to get you somewhere, knowing that there's somewhere else to go. So when I say perseverance must be tested, we're talking about when you have faith, your faith is tested through perseverance. When you say, oh, I know that God is going to take me somewhere, or I know that I have more in store for me, and I know that I can be more, and I can do more, and I can grow, and I can succeed. I'm sharing this story with you because when you put in work, right? Imagine going to your job and you put in those hours and they say, we're gonna cut you this check. They say, we're gonna cut you this check at the end of the week. And then the end of the week gets there and they tell you, oh, my bad. We had an issue in accounting, but we got you. Keep working. Go out there, keep doing that same hard work you've been doing. We got you. Right? Imagine a sports athlete, right? who goes out and they have a contract for certain terms, and they understand their productivity and the work they do. They understand how much of their own physical well-being that they're laying on the line in order to complete certain work or in order to achieve certain things. And then they get there and it's time for them to pick up their money, and then the company says, oh yeah, but I mean, you've been good, but you ain't been that good. I mean, we want to keep you, but how good were you really? Imagine the mindset, the frustration, the difficulty of going home and coming in every day and knowing that in order to get what you know you deserve, you have to do what you've already always done, and you're already not being compensated for. You're already not getting not only what you expect to get, but what you believe you deserve to get, and in a way that you're supposed to get it. Imagine the frustration, the anger, just the desire to express it. When I tell you perseverance must be tested, in order to become the people we need to be, to see the things that we believe we should see, to live and achieve in a way that we believe is appropriate for us and that we desire for ourselves and our loved ones, perseverance is a must. So how do you persevere? In what way do you persevere? What is perseverance really? It's those tough times, man. I mean, it's hard. Excuse me. One of the reasons they say, in order for you to really do something, in order for you to truly learn the lessons of what it takes to do something, you usually need to start doing that thing. Not at the highest possible level, but you really need to start doing that thing. This is what they're talking about. It's hard for you to test your own perseverance. And the reason it's hard for you to test your own perseverance is because you have to go through it, right? When you want to test your own perseverance, good morning. When you want to test your own perseverance, you have to push yourself. But it's a challenge because taking care of you, your body's innate nature of saying, I need to preserve myself, will often kick in. But when you step outside and you say, hey, I'm going to do something and I'm expecting a return from it, and then there are other people or other areas in which you're supposed to see a return, this is one of the things that I think is great about YouTube, is when you come on and that stream says 0, listen to me. When you come on and you start doing the live stream and it says 0, when you put up a YouTube post and that joint says it's got 14 views and you know you're trying to build something and it says 0, you've done nothing. No one's seen it. No one cares. Nobody's coming. And you have to tell yourself, this is going somewhere. I have a purpose. I'm doing something. Let's get up. Let's do it again. Doing it for months, doing it for years, going through times where your own personal life says to you, I don't want to do this anymore. When your personal life says, I can be doing anything else. And when it tells you this is a waste of your time, and then you have to keep going, that's perseverance. My wife right now is persevering this morning because she knows she's done the work. She knows she's put in the time. She knows she's seen the response. She's seen the consistency. And now it's time for her to start seeing the rewards. So when you check your metrics and you're expecting your numbers to go from 900 to 2,000 because you know you put in the work, and they're like, nah, it's still 900, we don't know. Now all of a sudden, the standard has changed, the expectation has changed. Perseverance must be tested. You've got to put yourself out there. You have to truly endure. The endurance of it, like it's easy to say, yeah, I'm gonna keep going. It's easy to say, yeah, I got what it takes. But then you gotta test it. You gotta test it when it gets hard. I'm talking about in your relationships. I'm talking about in your job, in your financial focus, in your fitness. I'm talking about in your diet, everything when it gets hard. And you know you've got to push through. You know that you have a goal, something you're working on that's going to take an investment and work from you. Perseverance is the test, but let me explain. Perseverance is the point where it jumps off. Imagine getting on a rocket to go anywhere. A rocket, it's going to shoot you into space. And you say, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get on this rocket. I'm going to sit on this bomb and get shot into the stratosphere, right? I'm going to accept everything that is this explosion that I'm going to be sitting on. I'm going to train. I'm going to get the knowledge. I'm going to prepare. I'm going to do all of those things. And then you get there, and you're sitting on the bomb, and they counting down, and somebody say, ho, wait. What? No, hold on, wait a minute. We got a misfire in engine 2. I don't even know anything about rocket science. I'm letting you know right now, you just put me on a bomb. You just put me on, listen, this is rocket science. You just set me on this thing, and you're about to shoot me into the stratosphere, and then you say, hold on, wait. I don't know, dude. Like, don't worry about it. We got it. Let's get back up there. The perseverance, the thought that, wait, what went wrong? Explain it to me. Give me some clarity. I need to know what happened. I can't just climb back in there with the same blind faith that I had before, even knowing the challenge of it. I can't just walk back into it again. This is what perseverance is. Perseverance says, get back on the rocket. Get back in there, climb back in the saddle. I get it. I know it sucked. It wasn't what you wanted. And it's less a physical thing than a mental thing. It is mental, it is emotional. I can't just put a Band-Aid on it. I can't just wrap it up in a cast and let it get better. Perseverance tests your heart. Perseverance tests your spirit. This is what tests the makeup of you. Are you tough enough? I'm not talking about the simple things like somebody disagreeing with you. Or I'm not talking about the things where, oh, nobody's done it before. You've got to figure it out. I'm not talking about the hard work because you've already committed to the hard work. Perseverance is when you've done all of that and you're expecting a result and it doesn't show up. When you put in all the hard work for the promotion, when you put in all the hard work to learn this skill, to perfect your talent, to grow your understanding, when you did all the stuff you needed to do in order to be who you were supposed to be, when you were supposed to be, where you were supposed to be, and what you expected to happen didn't happen. When you've exhausted all of your fuel and you really feel like this is it or I quit. This is it or I quit. I mean, you can feel it. This is it or I quit. And it doesn't come through, and then you have to fight past quitting. You have to get back up. You have to get back on. You have to continue to nourish yourself. Continue to fight for what you believe is right. Continue to learn and invest in yourself and in the outcome that you seek. That's perseverance. Perseverance is so much more than picking up a weight. Perseverance is more than I can run a couple of more minutes. Learning to challenge the body is one thing. Breaking something, breaking yourself spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, something completely different. Do you understand the science of the military mindset? Do you know why they do basic training? Do you know why the Department of Corrections adopted it as a way to reform? Do you know why they sent criminals and psychopaths into the military as a form of punishment? Because if you can break something emotionally and mentally and then build it back up to believe in anything, especially to believe in you, you've done something phenomenal. This is why the military's trained the way they do. It's to break you down, to make you understand that you can be broken, and then to give back to you the faith and the strength to know that you can't. That even when you are as broke as you can be, that you're not beaten, that you're not broken, that you're not done. That is perseverance. This is what makes men and women walk into gunfire, knowing that they're about to die, knowing that they're doing this for a purpose or a cause. When I tell you that this is the approach and this is what perseverance really is, it must be tested. Can you break yourself the way that the military intends to break people? Are you self-aware and self-accountable enough? Are you hard enough on yourself to break you? I mean, to break you down to the point that you don't think you can get back up and then get yourself back up. No, you can't do it to yourself. This is why personal trainers have personal trainers. This is why leaders have mentors. This is the way in which it has to happen, because you don't know until you've been through it. This is why you need support, because you can break yourself. Ooh, you can push, you can try, and you can get to the point where you're broken. But man, getting back up. I'm talking about figuring out a reason and a purpose to get back up. A why should I get back up? Why should I do it? What's the reason? Man, that's perseverance. This is why we need people. This is why we need support. This is why we need communities. This is why we need to know our why, so we know where we need to go. This is why we need faith. This is why we need to be strong in spirit, because I'm telling you, there will become a time when you're growing, if you're really trying to go somewhere and you're really trying to get something done, I mean something big. I mean something that's just going to change you and the trajectory of your life and your future and the legacy of your family. If you're really trying to get it done, it's going to become a moment. It's going to become a moment where someone's going to tell you, no, you can't do it. Where someone's going to say, hey, I'm going to break you. Where this thing is going to be like, hey, I get it. You did everything you were supposed to do. So what? So what? You're done. You're not going any further than this. And then you're like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do? You got to get up. You got to keep fighting. You got to keep going. You have to know that the difficulty is what it is. And then you must persevere. Perseverance requires the same focus. I applied for a job with the company that I worked for. I applied for a leadership position, a little bit higher than the one I was in at the time. When I applied for this position, I was told, going into it, what they were looking for. I was told, coming out of it, they had chosen someone else because the area in which I had the expertise is what they were looking for, but they decided to go in a different direction. And then I was tasked with being a support and a mentor to share my experience in that space. And to continue to be supportive, to be productive, to be engaging, to be the same high spirit, the same strong energy, knowing that someone else is working the role that I wanted to be in, right? So the first thing I had to do was catch my breath. I had to cool down. And then I had to understand that the work that I do on me is more important than the work that I do for this company. I'm no longer with this company. It was a few years back. There's more about the experience, but I'll share that later. But what I understood was, when there is an expectation, when there is a design, when there is a path that you have laid out and you're walking it, and then you start hearing you're doing the right thing, yeah, man, you got it, you got this, and then someone else, boop, no, we're gonna do this, we're gonna go this way. Thank you for your effort, your hard work. Thank you for everything you've done. Oh, and by the way, help us. Keep doing what you've always done. Keep doing the work you've always done. Train here, support here, do here. I feel like there's something on my ear. Do here what we know you're capable of doing, because we really need this from you right now. We really need this support from you. We really need this guidance from you. We really need this moment from you in order to help not only this individual, but the company grow. And then it happened. And I was like, hey, I got it. Let me do what I know I'm supposed to do and get back to work. And and it was like, honestly, that first time, it was pretty easy. It was easy to say, okay, I get it. There's some things I need to do. There's some areas I need to work on. I was able to identify them without having to speak to anyone. I'm like, okay, well, let's see. Where's some of the areas where I need to improve? What are some of the things that I need to do different? Things that I need to do better so that this doesn't happen the next time? How do I do that? And let me make sure that I'm doing and meeting the expectation that I've set previously. So let's do that. I did that as well. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, keep walking your walk, keep doing your thing. Your time is coming. As I did that, as I continued to walk, as I continued to do my work, another opportunity arose. Same thing happened. I'm like, man, this is hard. I got a wife, I got children. At this time, my wife was pregnant. And I'm like, man, like I'm doing everything that I know I'm supposed to be doing. But as I told you, this journey that I'm on and understanding that you have to work harder on yourself than you do on your job took me years to learn. And so to remedy it, each time this happened, I worked harder on my job. I said, let me do more. Let me show I'm capable of more. Let me support more. And I was doing more on my job. I kept learning the specific skills of my job to do the things that were required of my job, but not doing that same work on me. I wasn't seeing that same effort. I was not putting in that same type of concentrated focus on developing myself. So what did this lead to? It led to challenges. It led to me not understanding, not realizing, and not performing at the highest of my ability in my own growth. Even though the company was growing, even though the results were growing, even though the people around me in my department were growing, I wasn't. I personally had not started to grow. I personally hadn't realized that the thing that I needed to be working on more than anything was myself. That I needed to understand that my value and my worth and my belief in myself and the areas that I needed to grow in order to go to the next level of my walk and to continue my journey were not in the standard operating procedures of the company. They're not in the game plan of the company. They are in me. They are requirements for me to meet. So then how do I meet them? How do I get to that point where I'm able to say, hey, I get it. I know there's an outcome. There's specifics. There's work. There are things that need to be done, and I need to do them. As I just said, I had to learn to work on me. So, how much of me was I working on outside of my job? Was I taking time to strengthen myself emotionally and mentally and spiritually? Was I learning the lessons of growth, development, and perseverance and understanding in order for me to truly be the person I needed to be at the next level? Now, let me make this clear, guys. I am not giving this organization a pass. Because when I started to do the work on me, I began to see things more clearly. I began to understand things better. I began to ask the right questions of the right people to get the right answers, to understand where I needed to go and how I needed to travel. This isn't about placing blame. This is about taking ownership. Because in order to persevere, in order to move to that next level, I needed to take ownership of who I was. And as I did that work and it became clear to me, not clear, when it was told to me by the company that I had done as much or I had gone as far as the company was prepared to allow for me to go, but that I could still be a productive part of the company, that I could still get an increase in compensation, but not in the way in which I was pursuing. I was like, okay, no hard feelings. Continue to work on me. Because if I hadn't worked on me, if I hadn't done the work on me, I wouldn't have known who to talk to. I wouldn't have known what questions to ask. I wouldn't have known how to find out what the focus is. I wouldn't have known those things. And so then that's when we just toil away, when we just keep doing the same thing harder, believing it's going to get us a different result. That's not perseverance. Perseverance is seeing where you are, asking those questions, understanding where you're going, working on you, and then fighting through. This is why in the military, they gotta give them something to believe in. Because if you don't give them anything to believe in, if you break somebody and you try to build them back up without anything to believe in, you lose them. You lose them. This is why for the veterans, the suicide rate is so high. The homeless rate, the drug addiction is so high. It's because you took a person and you broke them. I mean, you broke everything in them. You broke their hearts. You broke their minds. You separated them from their loved ones. You gave them a purpose. And then they keep going and they find out this purpose isn't real, that they can't trust it, that what they were told they're not going to receive. And it's not about physical, because physically they can come back unharmed. But the things that they've seen, the things they've been told, the way they've been treated, all of these things are a part of what they come home with. I keep saying, and I said it from the beginning, guys, what's important is that you find your purpose, right? I says what's important is that you focus on who you are, right? You focus on your principles. You use your principles to create your guidelines. These are the things that you will not step outside of. And then once you do that, you find your purpose. And your purpose is what recenters you. Whenever you're dealing with difficulty, when you're trying to get to something, whenever there's a challenge in your finances, a challenge in your relationship, a challenge in anything in your life, you can always look back at your purpose. You can look at your principles and who you are, and you can say, this is my guiding star. This is my landmark. This is where I go. This is how I'm driven. I understand why I'm doing what I'm doing, especially when it's just easier to quit. The purpose, your purpose is what moves you on. And so when you take someone and you break them and they don't have a purpose, they don't have anything to drive them, they don't have a dedication, they don't have an understanding, they don't have a calling, they don't have anything to drive them. And you're like, hey, keep going. It's devastating. It can be absolutely devastating. This is why perseverance must be tested, people. Because I'm telling you, it's easy to say, I got this. It's easy to say, I got faith. It's really hard to apply. And so when you go to church, when you go to your spiritual and your religious centers to sit down and have conversations and communion with your community and to know the people who are there, do you understand the reason for that? The reason it happens weekly is to reestablish and re-energize your perseverance and your faith for the upcoming week, to get you prepared to deal with what's coming next, to set your mind and your soul. Do you know what daily devotionals are for? Do you know why there are so many meditation apps and so many peace of mind and mindfulness apps? It's because they've come to an understanding that we as a society, we as a species have gotten to the point where we're mentally incapable of handling what we physically have the ability to do, right? It's because when we challenge the limits of ourselves, when we push ourselves to our limits, it's easy for us to be broken emotionally. I'm telling you, I know because I've been there. When we push ourselves to our limits, it's easily to be broken mentally, to not be able to think, not be able to focus, and then say, hey, let's get you some medication to help you fix it. Just remember to take these and you'll be better. No, you just won't get that response. We just need to keep your body up and moving. We just need you to be able to go out here and work towards somebody else's purpose for the next 45 years. So let's get you medicated. This is why so many veterans are in the streets, because it doesn't make sense. They can't survive within the walls of a building. Their skin crawls. Mentally, they can't, it doesn't make sense. After you've gone to war and you've seen the things that you've seen, and you've seen the lives, and you've seen the way you've made people live, you've seen the way you have in your own hands, with your own hands, done things, even for those who don't go to war, even for those who don't go off to battle and they just go through the training and then they watch their brothers and sisters and they hear the stories, it has an impact. What I'm telling you right now is perseverance must be tested, and it is not pretty. I've spent the last 45 minutes telling you how difficult and challenging perseverance is and how it must be tested. But here's the thing. When you come out on the other side of that thing, when you walk out of that thing and you can pull yourself back together, you can pull the pieces of your spirit and your soul and hold yourself together. When you can physically stand up and walk and keep your head up and know that your purpose is for real and that you are for real and the work that you're doing is for real. When you do that, there's nothing you can't conquer. There's nothing you cannot overcome. There is no challenge that can break you. There is no communication. There are no people who can tell you you can't. There are no challenges that you see as insurmountable. There is only the promise that you have. There is only the future and the success that you are assured you will achieve because you have persevered, which is why when it comes to discipline, is why perseverance is step number 4, because you can do everything else. You can show up with repetition. You can continue to wait and be patient. Patient isn't the same as perseverance. Patience is simply an understanding, I know it's going to take a while. Patience is what you have when you get in a drive-through line at lunchtime at your local fast food restaurant. That's what patience is. When you have to work with consistency, consistency is more than repetition. Consistency is an understanding that you're traveling a plan and you need to meet certain standards. It's not just showing up, it's blowing up. That's consistency. And perseverance is when it sucks. I mean, when you've done it all and you're ready and it says, not yet. Nope, this isn't for you. Perseverance is when you do it all and you get to the end and it's wrong. Nope, this is the wrong path. I get it. You learned some lessons. You understood some things you know now better. You went through the whole wholesaling a house process. You did the groundwork. You did the legwork. You spent 3 months on it. And the industry has set a standard for wholesaling at $5,000. It does not matter. It does not matter that you got a $2 million house under contract for $300,000. you will not be getting a portion of that return. You are not getting $100,000 for this contract. You're getting $5,000 because the industry, the people who hand out the money aren't going to give you more than $5,000. And they know they can just wait for you to lose the contract because you've already shared the information with them, and they'll go right behind you and they'll buy that exact same house. They might not even wait for it to fall through. They might just say, hey, we understand that there's a binding contract in place. We'll just give you $310,000. We'll give you $350,000. It's $1 million house. We'll give you $500,000 because they know that they can. And so now you've gone through all of this. You've done all of this work and it doesn't work out. Perseverance is the thing that says, I learned that lesson. Let's get back to work. It is difficult for me to explain to you how it is, but I'm telling you the power that comes out of it, not the anger, not the frustration, not the resentment, but the experience, the knowledge, and the power to know, oh, this is as bad as it gets. This is the worst you can do. Oh, y'all in trouble now. And then you've seen someone throw something at you. I'm old, so I remember the Jordan rules against the Detroit Pistons, where they had these specific rules to make him go in a certain direction and do certain things to force him to not be able to beat him. But the moment he was like, oh, I got it now. I see what you're doing. I see how you're working. I see what you're going to do. I got you. And then championship. Okay, we retiring. He's figured it out. Championship, leave the game, come back, championship. So I'm telling you, when you get it figured out, when you're like, oh, this is the worst you can do, y'all in trouble now. Because that is what perseverance gives you. Perseverance gives you that understanding that what you're working on and what you're doing is growing you exponentially, and it makes you more powerful. Do not doubt yourself. In the most difficult of times, when it's the hardest, when you feel the furthest down, understand right now, this stand up, this rep, this set, this push through is the thing that's going to catapult you into the next level. It is the thing that's going to make you this person you need to be for where you want to go. Phil said, principle-informed purpose, persistent perseverance. Persistence must be tested. Dropping gems daily. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it. I like being here as well, Phil. These are the things that are important, guys. This is why it's important for us to understand that building who we're going to be, it's not building somebody else's business. This is not about, Phil, I'm sorry, I called you Rich. This is not about, it's Rich, not Phil. I keep doing the wrong one. I keep saying Phil when it's Rich. It's a 4-letter name. So it's not about being able to build somebody else's business. It's not about being able to determine somebody else's outcome. It's not about being able to be the best version of what someone else wants you to be. It's about the understanding that we're growing, that we're developing, that we're becoming more. And perseverance, I'm telling you, perseverance is the reason that it's at the end. It is at the end of the discipline dividend system. Because once you learn to persevere, all the work before, the other work you have to do anyway. You can't persevere until you've done the other work. Until you actually get started and you start getting up and you say, I have a schedule and I'm going to do this thing on the schedule. Until you start getting up and hitting that schedule, then there's no way for you to develop consistency. You can't be patient for something you're not working towards. You're not being patient, you're just not working. That's not patience. You can't be patient for something that you're not working towards. You're just being lazy. You're just sitting there. So we have to first get started. That's the repetition. I'm getting up and I'm doing it. I might not be doing it at the highest level. I may not be doing it right now as the best person out here to be able to do it. I may not be the greatest at it. I might not even be the greatest at it for me, but I'm out here and I'm doing it. Patience. I understand that I got to get it done. 20 hours in the gym is not the same as 20 consecutive days with 1 hour. I have to keep showing up. I have to keep getting here. And then we need consistency. Now that I'm here every day, I've made it, I've done these 20 days, now I need to start to develop a plan. I can't randomly come in here, walk around and touch weights and touch machines and think that it's gonna go towards development. We have to keep moving. So now I have a plan. That's consistency, because consistency requires a standard. Repetition does not. Repetition does not require a standard. The wheels on your car roll repetitiously. All of them roll. It's a repetition, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round. That is not consistency. That's repetition. Consistency is that all of them spin at the same speed, at the same time, to move your car forward in a straight line. That's the consistency. The fact that they go round and round is just repetition. Consistency is performing at an expected standard, at an expected level. So we have to have an expectation in order to develop it. And then we have to persevere. Wheels on your car, they gotta go through it. They gotta go through snow, gotta go through rain, gotta go through losing tread, gotta go through accidents, gotta go through mud, gotta go through hard braking, other drivers, highways, dirt roads, gravel, grass. Same way you do, you have to go through it. How you doing, boss?
How about yourself?
Doing great, man. You have to go through all of it. You have to build, and then you have to persevere. And then when you go through it, and you've gone through it, and you've made it out on the other side, that perseverance, that is the explosion. That is the ignition. That is the thing that says, go. You got it, go. No, you haven't made it. No, you haven't mastered it. No, you're not where you said you were gonna be yet, but you are now the person who can handle whatever's to come. Because as you continue to grow, there will be other moments where you will be tested, but you've already proven your ability to endure the test, the ability to persevere. And I'm telling you, people, keep at it. When you learn to apply these principles of discipline and apply them to yourself, when you work harder on being the person who you're supposed to be than you do on doing the thing that you've decided to do, because those are different. When you work harder on being who you're supposed to be versus doing the thing you've decided to do, the sky is the limit, guys. You are unlimited in the things that you can achieve and the places that you can go, the ways in which you can grow. Let's stop allowing for ourselves to be broken at the moment we should be blowing up. Because that's it, that's the flame. Like everything else is just getting the kindling on the fire, people. Everything else is just getting the stuff into the barn to get ready for it. You have to understand that. The beginning of what you do, that's just gathering, that's just chopping the wood. We haven't hit the winter yet. We haven't hit the time where there's going to be perseverance. If we put it in and we look at it as the 4 seasons of the year, there is the fall. As we prepare to go into the winter, where we have to do some preparation, we've got to do some learning. As we got to do some understanding, we have to do some real getting ready. There's the winter where we have to really buckle down and understand our time for growing, our time for development, our time for explosion is coming. So we have to be ready to take advantage of it. There's the spring as we start to plant and we start to understand Now we're putting our seeds into the ground. We're nurturing it. We're growing it. And then as it comes into the summer, we start to harvest. And we understand during this harvest, we want to repeat this cycle, continue to grow and grow. But guess what? Fall is coming back, people. And so it's a cycle. We have to work. And then we have to persevere through the winter. Winters can be tough. Maybe we're bigger than we thought we were going to be. So we weren't as prepared for winter as we thought we might be. Perseverance is tough. Some of the people you expected to be there decided that they can't be there or they don't want to be there. But we have to continue to push because we know where we're going. We know we have a purpose. This is how we drive. This is how we move forward. And it is during that time, there's no question. There's no question. And there's a reason. It is a part of an understanding of us as humans. There is a reason why when you read stories, when you watch movies, yes, crazy hell, Rich. Winter in Adelaide, crazy hell. Just now, when you look at the most difficult times, when they try to portray difficulty in a movie, in a book, or in a story, it's always in the winter. It's always in the winter. It's like, hey, your body responds differently to the cold. Your body responds differently. And so when they really want you to convey to you hard times and difficulty, they put it in the winter. But we have to understand if winter is where the difficulty is, it's also where we get the strongest. Because if you make it through the winter, we know what it looks like. If you make it through the winter, spring is next. Oh, it's the best season of the year. Cool breeze. Oh my goodness, it's not too hot, it's not too cold. The sun is shining, the sun is up longer. We can experience just about anything and enjoy it. It's changing. Things are growing. We're growing. We feel energized. We want to get outside. We want to encourage others to get outside. We made it. We survived. This is what perseverance does because we made it. I'm telling you, it's the same thing in your life. It's the same thing in your life. And when we understand that we know we have a purpose and we know winter is our season of perseverance and we know that it's going to end, and we can look up and pull ourselves back together, then we know we're destined for great things. We know we have bright things in front of us, guys. There are 4 pillars to discipline. Discipline, the 4 pillars of discipline are where you build upon mastery. You work towards mastery. And it's a guarantee as you pursue mastery, you will see success. And the 4 pillars are very simple. They are going to be repetition. Repetition is going to be followed by patience. Patience is going to be driven by consistency. And consistency is going to be supported and grown through perseverance. When you learn them and you understand how to apply them, there is nothing that you cannot apply discipline to and see success. I don't need to talk to you about being wealthy. I don't need to talk to you about being healthy. I don't need to talk to you about having a good relationship. I don't need to talk to you about your spiritual walk. We don't have any direct conversations about it until you understand and know how to apply discipline. Because in whatever area you apply discipline, you're going to apply success, people. And without question. And so today, I encourage you, I implore you, I definitely want to make sure that I give you my heartfelt sentiments and words and tell you, you're going to make it. I need this to get into your hearts and into your minds. Continue to persevere because perseverance must be tested. And until it's tested, you don't really know if you got what it takes. So if you're going through a test right now, if you're experiencing difficulty, if you're having a hard time, if you're having challenges, if you feel right now like it's the worst time to be doing it and it's the best time to quit, if you feel that in this moment, if you're watching this in this moment and you're hearing this in this moment, I'm letting you know that your perseverance must be tested. You can call it your perseverance, you can call it faith, but the activity of doing it is called endurance. If you're being tested right now, it's because you have somewhere to go. You have some things to do. And I'm not telling you that the thing that you're doing right now is the thing that's going to be it. But if you can get through this, if you can persevere, if you can get through the winter, and you can stay focused on working on yourself and developing yourself, there's great things to come. Because the perseverance is the test. The perseverance is what makes you. Everything else makes the thing. The repetition makes the thing. The patience goes towards making the thing, understanding it's going to take time to make this thing. The consistency makes the thing. The consistency of working on it and doing the work and pounding the hammer and meeting the standard and following the plan, it makes the thing. The perseverance makes you. And so whatever you're going through, understand the challenge and overcoming this perseverance is making you who you need to be to see the life that you are determined to see. As always, guys, I'm here in the morning. I really appreciate you being here. If you want to support the channel, you can click the link above. You can also see the links available on the page to support through either CashApp or Venmo. I appreciate you being here. And we're not on this journey alone. You're not on this journey alone. I'm on this journey with you. As I said before, my wife and I are in the process of growing these channels because we understand that it takes time. I'm going to ask that you guys continue to pray for me, continue to offer your support and encouragement. I appreciate you being here. And as always, guys, continue to show up, continue to blow up, and watch your life grow up. Have a great day. God bless.